Hi, I'm Marianne Clyde.
And I'm Lorna McGill.
And we're here with the Isn't She Amazing podcast. And Lauren is going to introduce our amazing guest for today.
I'm so excited. I had a wonderful conversation with Claudia Tsas, and the co-owner of Kharis Lavender Fields. And she has lots of great tips. She has left her career and started this lavender farm with her husband, Robert. So I know she has lots of great information to share with the audience today.
So welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate very much this invitation and the opportunity to be part of this idea, this dream that you created together. And thank you for making me part of this today.
We're so glad you're here. Now, you made a big transition. How long ago was that?
3 years ago. Everything started at the end of 2019, and here we are, 2023.
So what was the thing that triggered you to make the change?
Well, I was for 16 years as part of a company that is into the neuroscience research, providing services for neuroscience researchers around the world. And after 16 years was time to make a change in my career, and I didn't want to start going over to DC to be driving in the traffic and leaving behind my family and my young kids. Then that was the time to rethink my process and see the things that I have it on hand. And that was how the journey started.
And you did that before COVID even came on the scene, right?
2019 is when I took the decision to move. And in May of 2020, right when we were at the beginning of the worst part of the pandemic, is when we were putting the plants on the ground, which for us actually it was a blessing. It was an opportunity because my husband stopped traveling, everything like it slowed down around us, and that gave us the opportunity to play with the soil and prepare everything to put the plants on the ground.
So how did you decide to do a lavender farm?
As I said, when I was evaluating the resources that we have available, I started to talk with people because we have 5 acres that we were not utilizing. And I was, okay, what we can grow here? And then talking with people, I came across with a wonderful gentleman that became a very close friend to our family, who mentioned lavender, to grow lavender. And I was surprised that I didn't know about much lavender. Then I went to read about that, and I was amazed with what I found out about lavender, especially for the mental health benefits that lavender has, and for all the years that I was working in the neuroscience research, and I grew a passion for the brain and the mental health especially. Then when I learned all the properties that this plant has, it was like, oh, wow, this is a perfect match for what I want to do next.
Well, I just love the fragrance. Tell us a little bit about the mental health aspects and how it can improve our mental health.
Well, there's plenty of medical research that if you go online and you search yourself, you will find that there's many research about the calming effect that has in our nervous system. Not all lavender has this condition, and it's something that we need to learn to differentiate in when we are doing our research. But lavender itself has one of the ingredients of the right lavender is that it has linalool. And that chemical component is what it helps to relax our nervous system, even has an effect at the hormonal level in our body.
As we breathe it affects our hormones?
Even the contact with our body, it can have a relief. Like, for example, if you think in premenstrual pain, that is how applying a cream with lavender will help. Or applying lavender, a pad, like we have a BRAP, with lavender, a warm bath with lavender on our stomach, it will help, or our joints. And the inhaling is the relaxing portion. Then there is an outer and inner effect of using lavender. But the relaxing portion comes from an ingredient that is called linol, and that is what it makes lavender one of the first essential oils in any aromatherapy that you will find around the world. And
So is that, so is
Yeah.
that what helps with sleep?
Yeah, when you relax your nervous system is what it helps you also to sleep. Then everything is, and we know the importance, and I think that is other of the results of COVID is showing us the importance of the stress and in our body, the effect that the stress has in our body. When we are stressed, we are weakening our immune system because our body is in this permanent fight or flight mode, and we're leaving the rest of our body unprotected. Then relaxing and taking care of our nervous system is the key for anything that we want to battle in terms of health of our body.
Wow. So you create products out of your lavender as well?
Yes, we do grow the lavender, we harvest the lavender, and with the lavender that we harvest, we either distill to obtain two main products, that is essential oils or hydrosol, that are incorporated in a line of products that we use for self-care. Or even now that it became very popular, the flower itself that we don't distill, we dry, and now we are using it for culinary purposes. Then you can add it to tea blends, which also will help with the relaxing portion. If you drink, for example, a blend of chamomile with lavender before to go to sleep, plus you inhale the aroma of lavender, definitely will help in relaxing your body and have a better sleep.
So do you create the tea blends, or do you also grow chamomile?
No, we don't grow other herbs at this point, but that is in our plan to do it. The products that we don't produce here, we outsource for other lavender growers or another herbs growers around the country. We're part of the Lavender Association, and since then because that was part of our research also when we started to this adventure, it was to join the Lavender Association, to go to visit other lavender growers around the country, and also take classes with them and with Michigan University about how to grow and how to add value to our products. And that is what you're what we talk about value added products, where we have
So what you
the options I can create, or you can add lavender to.
and what's your favorite? What's your favorite, like tea blend?
In the tea blends, definitely chamomile and lavender is a must, because it is relaxing to me. That is something that is caffeine free, right? And if you want to relax, and there's difference, like what you're looking for. If you're looking just for the nice aroma, then that is one thing. If you are looking for the relaxing, it will be something different. Then, like for even, okay, I like the flavor. I'm not right. I wanna enjoy the good flavor, then that is different. That I want one of my favorite. Our lotions definitely are something that it is every person that tries our lotions, they say how good they feel about the linen and room sprayed. And even now, honey, we have a partnership with a lady who's close by and has hives, and then we give her our lavender, and she infuses lavender. And next year we will have our own hives here at our fields too. Then we will have the work that the bees do, plus the infuse of the lavender to make sure that you can taste the flavor in the honey.
It sounds like you have had an enormously busy 3 years. That's a lot to kind of cobble together.
So much education and so forth to go with that. And now
Yeah.
you're taking on beekeeping.
Yeah, my husband is decided that, and actually, because this year we have a couple of garden clubs coming to visit us, and we're giving these educational talks and all of that. I really developed some great relationships, and a lady called me last week, and she said that her son wants to give away his hives. Then she wants for us to have the hives, and I was okay. We are not ready, but let's do it. Because our plants, I have 2 neighbors in the area that they have hives, and they share with us how much their bees love our plants, and even that they open their boxes and the bees don't waste any time around their own plant, but they fly straight to our fields.
Come to your yard.
Yeah, and I was okay. If I'm going to be hanging out with somebody else's bees, I better have my own hives as well. And that was where we're going to do next.
That's fascinating because I think beekeeping is something that's important these days anyway. So to find a way to increase the number of bees that are healthy and strong and intermingling with all your plants, and especially if you're planning to start
sustainability.
Yeah, I think that will be perfect environment for them. As long my husband is willing to take care of that, I am good to go. Because I don't think I want to take more on my plate, or right. I want to really expand what we already have. And hives was always from the beginning on my business plan, but it's something that I think now, yeah, we are ready as long I have somebody else helping me with that.
Now, you're located in Maryland, right? In Gaithersburg, Maryland. And so you collaborate. So you will sell stuff right from your farm right there.
But we do have a gift shop.
Okay, but you also do online sales, I think, don't you?
That's correct, yeah.
Because they're so, we want to get the word out to as many people around the country as possible, and actually the world. So it's nice to know if you can, if they can have access to your lotions and teas, and then you put the dried.
I'm losing you. I don't know if it's you or me.
What's that?
My screen stopped working.
Okay, it's working now.
Yes.
Okay. So you have lotions, you have the dried flowers, you have essential oils. Now, my thing is, I don't ever know what to do with plain dried lavender, besides maybe put it in a sachet. But you're saying culinary benefits.
Yeah.
What are some of the best ways you like to use lavender in meal preparation?
First, is if you have lavender on your hand, you need to know what kind of lavender you have. And based on that, you will decide if you can use it or not for culinary. It's not that it's going to make you sick if you have the wrong kind of lavender, but you might have a soap flavor in whatever you're using it if you don't have the right lavender.
That won't be good.
Mess up a good meal.
Exactly. Then I have some talks with people that, for example, own bakeries, and they say it is so hard to get the right flavor or the right amount, or you don't taste it, or it's overwhelming. And my answer was, well, first you need to know what kind of lavender you have on your hands, and that is the first thing that I would recommend. Is if you have your own plant, is to know what lavender plant you have.
How do you find that out? I didn't.
At least the first thing is to know that is how if they are English, or they're intermediate or a different cultivar.
Is English
If you have
good?
English is what we will call, or angustifolia. English is their correct name is angustifolia. That is what is the family of lavender that you will like or you will prefer to use for culinary. There are some angustifolias that they are better than others. For example, my favorite is Royal Velvet or Buena Vista. Then if you don't know the plant that you have, and you can try and you can see how you can infuse, for example, you can prepare from a simple syrup, right? And add a tablespoon of lavender, or start with a teaspoon of lavender and infuse your syrup and you try it. Or you can infuse any drink. You can infuse your lemonade, and right, or you can prepare your tea, like you said. Okay, you make your own blend. You add a teaspoon of lavender to your tea, to your blend of your preference. The most important is, if you have your plant, is how you dry it. Make sure that you have your bundles well dry, well clean, because you don't want anything growing with your lavender that
Right.
you are going to put on your tea. Cleaning it properly. That's why, for example, in our case, we gotta work with the health department to make sure that all our processes are approved by them. But then when we put those herbs on the market or in the hands of our customers, that is something that the health department accepts as a human consumption.
So your favorite for food preparation are Royal Velvet and Buena Vista.
Absolutely.
Do you use other different kinds of lavender for the lotions and other products?
Yes.
And what
Yes.
would that be? What would that be good? Like what would you
For
put in your bag?
example, Provence is something that is used for the herbs, the Provence, and that is the only intermediate that we use for culinary purposes. Then for lotions, I have the angustifolias as well, and the ones that I use are Super Blue and Big Time Blue. I also have Phenomenal, which has an amazing aroma, and that is also what we grow in our fields.
So
And those are our main. Provence for culinary, for what is herbs of Provence. We have Phenomenal, that is another intermediate. That we have Super Blue and Big Time Blue for our lotions and for our essential oils.
I
never knew there were so many kinds of lavender. I thought it was just lavender.
Yeah, usually when you go and buy a plant of lavender, and they tell you just lavender, you don't know what you're buying, right? You're buying a lavender, but who knows which family, or maybe it's just a mix, it's a blend of many things. But if you want to really gain some expertise, and I think it's like in everything, right? It's when you dig in something, then you learn so many things about that area. And with lavender, is nothing else than that as well. And in my opinion, like for example, lavender, history of lavender, of human adding lavender in their lives comes in history 600 BC. Then, and in Europe, it's being used for so many years. Like even if there are records in Italy, they will use it to disinfect hospitals at some point, because that is another important component of lavender, that is, it has antiseptic benefits.
and
Then
what
that's why you find
Like
so many, that's why you find so many cleaning products with lavender, right? Because that is the other ingredient that the other family of lavender have, that is camphor, higher level of camphor. That is what that creates that menthol, minty aroma that actually is what is a great disinfectant. That's why if you apply to your skin, right, it helps to heal as well. That's
And
why
what do you
and
mix
I was learning about that. Say again?
what do you mix it with to have healing properties?
When you think of essential oils in general, essential oil is something that is concentrated, right? And what you use is another carrier oil. Then the carrier oil can go from jojoba oil, coconut oil, and that is the carrier, what it brings the essential oil to your skin. You do not apply essential oil alone to your skin because the level of concentration is too high for your skin to resist. Then you use a carrier and you add essential oils. Then when you're buying any lotion that you're for your body, for your hands, for your face, you got to understand that you are using carrier oils, that they're bringing all the other components that your skin needs, like vitamins, essential.
So many options that you can use.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's so interesting that it's used for so many different, from eating to your skincare to sleep to your mental health components. There's so many benefits of using lavender.
That's right. Looks like we have Claudia frozen.
It does.
So Lorna, when you use lavender to cook?
I have never used lavender to cook. Do you?
I had a friend who had lavender fields that would give out little bits of lavender, in a bag or a bottle to be able to use for that. But I never really knew what to do because I would feel like I'm putting soap in my tea, or I would feel like, okay, I'll sprinkle lavender on this. But what Claudia said, you have to be careful because
because I've had like
lavender,
lavender cookies, which are delicious. But yeah, I never considered the whole aspect of, you do use like lotions with lavender, but that it would be very different from what you're eating in your cookie.
because I've tried echinacea and I've tried chamomile and really never tried the lavender because lavender really never took off in my garden. So I've never known what to do with it. So Claudia, what is like your favorite recipe to make with lavender? You had talked about infusing like syrups, and I imagine you can infuse vodka too, right?
There is lavender is one of the 5 food trend with most increase of use in 2024. That is what is the expectation in the market. And what you just said is with the martini, with the vodka, with even we prepare what is the name? Different margarita. That was it. With margarita, there are so many drinks where you can add that touch of lavender, which definitely is something to explore. My favorite, it will be definitely, for example, what I always offer to my customers when they come during the summer is our lavender lemonade. And in the winter is our apple cider with lavender. That is.
So I can just imagine how awful it would be to use the wrong kind of lavender and have your lemonade taste like soap, have your martini or your margarita taste like soap. It would be like,
yeah, that's why I think that many people feel kind of sometimes frustrated or things that it's tricky to use lavender, right? And it is because there's not enough information, or we didn't make enough research to see which one we should be using.
So do you have lots of events at your farm? It sounds like if you have like the popular apple, cider, and this time of year, that might be some event that you have.
Yeah, you will think that like agricultural, you have seasons, and where it's in bloom is the biggest season. Definitely it is. It is when when people wants to come the most to cut their own lavender or to take pictures with the purple fields. But definitely we found out that people really likes to come because I think we as human, we need the connections. And when people come, they are sharing with us how they feel that they're a safe place where they can connect with playing with things. And I think having more time to relax or doing things that is like, right, as occupational therapy somehow, like we need to play more, we need to do things with our hands. And the rest of the year now we found out that people likes to come for workshops. We make candles, we make sachets. And we found out that, for example, schools, and I was talking with the council executive of the county, he visited us on Saturday, this last Saturday, and I was sharing with him that to me, it is really important to try to reach out educators, and that the county should take care of the mental health and well-being of the educators. I have young kids, and I know that the well-being of my kids depends on the well-being of the teachers, and that's why I will really like to approach educators by bringing them here to do things that they would relax and help them to take care of the well-being. I believe that well-being, health, self-care should not be a luxury. And that is one area. The other area that I'm very interested in as well is to reach out is the seniors. And there's plenty of medical research as well that even in Europe, how they put lavender essential oils, infusers with in these senior centers as assisted livings to help to calm the seniors living there. Then this year we had the visit of several senior centers that they brought their residents here, and we had this time to share with them the benefits, and also they were making their own sachets and trying our lavender cookies, and they loved it. Then I was expressing to Mr. Elrich that I would like to bring, for the ones that cannot come here because the mobility is limited, then we can go to them and provide experience at their places, and also add lavender as part of the daily routine of care, because even there's some patches, and we have this like necklace that they are diffusers that you can put a couple of drops of your essential oil on your necklace, and you are helping yourself during the day, but you're also helping others. And if nurses or caregivers can take care of that and include that in their visits to the residents of seniors, I think that we are all giving a little bit more of care to the ones that needed them.
Well, and it seems like that would be like a double edge, because you're helping also the nurses as they're being exposed to the lavender, as well as the residents.
And that is exactly right, like what I think with educators as well, because I do want to help the kids by helping their educators. And I know that our educators are burned out, and I understand that the kids are our priority, like my kids are. But I know that if I don't take care of the educators, sadly, I'm not taking care of my own kids either.
Good.
Amazing. Like it's like 0 to 100, like all the different, not only the age group, but just everything, that all the benefits of it.
Yeah, and if you think in kids with special needs or people with special needs, if you go and read, as I say, your source is very important, where you get your information from. And I cannot claim things that they are not mine, right? But I can help my customers or my friends to go and do their own research and read about this. And for example, I have parents of autism, kids with autism, or other mental challenges, that they use lavender, and they're looking for lavender because they know how that helps to come. Like there's a grower somewhere in the middle of the country that she used to be a nurse, and she worked at a psychiatric hospital for children. And then after a while, she convinced the doctors there that allow her to put a couple of drops of essential oil under the pillow of the kids before to go to sleep. And the effect was amazing, that the kids will really relax and have a better sleep.
So what's like the frequency of like using it? So if you are having like, you're anxious or you're having trouble sleeping, or you're stressed, like how often do you use it, and how do you use it?
That will be a prescription, where I think that it is more about your own practice, right? For example, in my case, and I can tell you from what I do, if I'm feeling it, before to go to sleep, I can spray my pillow every night and relax. I'm having problems to sleep, that I have my massage oil with lavender, then I massage my feet. Then really helps me to sleep. I use a shower steamer on my shower, which has lavender to help me while I'm taking my shower at night to really relax. Then having a tea, I think that, and if I have any pain on my body, I warm my neck wrap and I put it on my neck or in my back, in any place that I'm feeling pain. Then I do believe that there is, in no means is a replacement for medicine, but there is definitely other alternatives that you can help your body with, as science is showing that our nervous system is the most important. If we don't learn how to relax our body, then we are exposing our body to whatever. The only way to have a strong immune system, or one of the important ingredients of having a strong immune system, is to manage stress.
And you've given so many uses and important ways that we can use this to calm ourselves down and so forth. And I know how important also drinking a lot of water is for our system. And so can you just put lavender in a container of water in your fridge and let it give the water flavor like you would if you put it in your lemonade or put it in your
I never tried. And here's the something to consider, Marianne. To get the oil that is inside the flower of the lavender, you have two ways. One is mechanical pressure, like breaking the flowers and releasing the oil, or other one is heat. And that's why when we distill, we warm water, and with the heat, we extract the oil from the flower.
wow.
Then I don't know if you're having just cold water and you put in lavender, you will get anything outside of the flower.
It's just
But
you're making my brain go 100 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, how I use lavender and then how I can use it more in different ways. And so I really appreciate that. Lorna, you use lavender a lot too, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do. But I mean, I didn't know. I mean, there's just so many more ways to use it that I had never even considered. So it's definitely some new ways to try now.
there are some things that it is important to put under consideration, like
Oh, it looks like
I love what you were talking about, how it's so important for us to take care of ourselves, because I think that's
about lavender, like dry lavender.
yeah, you're coming in.
We're talking about botanicals, right? Dry botanicals.
Mm-hmm.
And if we add water to dry botanicals, the risk of growing mold is there.
see?
See, this is why we have experts on our show, so we don't take a good thing and mess it up.
So I have a question. I'm going to just divert just a little bit. So you made this big transition. And was it everything that you expected?
It was much more than I expected, honestly. I never expected to be 3 years in and like even talking at podcasts. It wasn't my plan at all. I do believe in God, and I think that it is easier when He shows the path. And this is nothing that was about me or my dream or how awesome I am at all, but it was more by His grace. And actually, that is what the name of the business means. Kharis in Greece means grace.
I saw what a great way to close up, because the whole thing has been a movement of grace for you and your family. And then you provide grace with the lavender and all its uses for health and mental wellness and so forth to the public. And
it just seems like the possibilities are endless. I mean, you just like opened the door, it sounds like. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much.
So much. We will put your website on the video before we post it, so everyone can come visit you. And if not, they can get online and order your stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And for the people that is in the area, we will be always welcoming visitors. We love to meet new people, to make new friends. As always, we said you become as a customer, but you gotta live as a friend. And the community that we built is amazing. I am truly blessed with all the people that I met through the business. I have countless stories of people that I met through the business and how fortunate I am to have them. And they are always welcome. Now, for an example, next week we're going to be in DC. We are going to bring this candle making experience to a law firm, where we will be teaching 40 ladies, how to play and how to make their candles and how to create a gift for somebody else. And then I think, I agree with Lorna that the opportunities are endless, and we are grateful to have them.
Well, Lorna, maybe we need to take a field trip to Gaithersburg.
That's what I was thinking. When you're back in town, we're going to have to drive down there.
That's right. That's right.
I would be honored to have you both.
Well, thank you so much, Claudia. We have learned so much from you, and we really appreciate your time. And we thank our audience for joining us as well.
Thank you all for joining us.
Have an amazing day.